Another bonus episode here in Hockey Inside Out. Jake Evans, how would you rate him so far this season, Rick Green?
Well, I think he's still looking to find his game. I'm a little disappointed in him. He hasn't. He's got one assist, I think, in 16 games. So he's struggling a little in that department, even though that's really not his number one role per se. Hardworking kid, good kid. Does a good job on the penalty killing. He has a ways to go, I think, to get his game back. But again, I talk about character and personality. He seems to be nothing but a good young man that's going to find his game. But right now, he's struggling a little bit, and he's going to have to work his way through it and maybe chip in a little bit like he did in other years with a few points offensively.
If he can get it going, I think he fits well with what they're doing because, you need another quick guy out there. I've been really surprised. Most nights I don't even realize he's on the ice. Last night I did because he showed some flashes and some of that speed, which is beautiful to watch once you get it going, but then there has to be some finish to it.
Yeah, I think the biggest surprise is that Jake Evans last season, in a year where there were very few bright spots, was a relatively consistent bright spot. A guy who gave it his all every single night, put 13 goals home through the third and fourth line, right? He was always pulling off some crazy move on his goals. I made a joke all last year that Jake Evans only scores bangers, right? Because every goal he scored was an absolute highlight reel goal. And we haven't seen that from Jake Evans so far this season, despite playing with, better than average skilled fourth line mates, whether it's Rem Pitlick or Uri Slafkovsky. There's things to work with there. And it hasn't happened so far this year, but at the same time, I don't think he's been disastrous defensively or anything. It's just hasn't put it all together yet this year. I wonder if it's just the makeup of the fourth line is more skilled now than what he's used to, and he needs more like physical guys to get him some free space. But I think he has the potential to be one of the better fourth line centers in the league. So I'm definitely not throwing in the towel on Jake Evans at any point. I don't think anybody is right now.
Just to bring up this point here, we go back to that awful incident in Winnipeg in the playoff win over the Jets when Shifley knocked him out. Has he been the same player since that point to where we are today, Rick?
I don't think that had a major effect on him. I know, what you see is what you get with him. He tries to do something each and every night. I don't see him shy in any way, shape, or form. He hasn't been able to find what has given him success in the past, and that's something that he'll have to figure out and take advantage when he gets to play each shift and see if he can't bring something a little bit more.
Jack?
Yeah, I think, from what I've seen, I thought last year he was pretty much the same player. He didn't really reach the brief level he was at leading up to the Winnipeg game when he was hurt. He was terrific. He was one of their best players, I thought, before Shifley got him. I don't think he reached that level last year, but he was way above where he's been this year offensively. But he's a tough kid. For somebody who isn't that big, he's got all the toughness he needs. So it should be happening, and Andrew might be right. The thing about adjusting to skilled wingers might take him a little time, but he should be able to do it.
Andrew, you mentioned Owen Beck in an early episode here. If Owen Beck does factor into the Habs rotation as a centerman, does that knock out Jake Evans from this future position as a fourth line center for the Habs?
I don't think so, just by virtue of the fact that Sean Monahan probably won't be on this team next year as much as he's fit in really, really well. I think he's a trade deadline moving target. I just can't see them not getting a really strong package for Sean Monahan with how well he's played this year. And maybe he wants to come back in the offseason. Maybe the Canadiens want to do that. But Christian Dvorak also is trade bait. I don't think he's part of this core moving forward either. So there's open spots for Owen Beck to take next year where Jake Evans sits in. I think Jake Evans is in a very solid spot where he could be the fourth line center for this team for a long time.
Yeah, I agree with you, Andrew. And, you mentioned Dvorak. I mean, I look at his performance. He's kind of now you see him, now you don't. I mean, he scored those 3 goals, and now it's like, Okay, what's he bringing? Not as much as he should. So, anyways, they're going to move some pieces around. Jake Evans, I think, fits that role very well. He just not getting it done right now, but he will work on it, and he'll show more as the season goes on.
Well, when we think about Jake Evans in his career so far as a Hab, he has overcome the long odds. No one thought he would be at this point as a fourth-line center for the Habs, and now he's become a foundation piece for that position moving forward. So we'll see what he does. It's a slow burn for him out of the gates here. Maybe he'll pick it up moving forward. That'll do for this bonus episode here of Hockey Inside Out. Like and subscribe on our YouTube page and also our newsletter, MontrealGazette.com/newsletters for full episodes. And for bonus content, head over to Hockey Inside Out and submit your questions and comments. We look forward to conversing about that for a future episode. On behalf of Andrew, Jack, and Rick, we wish you a great week. We'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.